Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're dodging our comeuppance. Whether there's a trick to avoid or a lesser-known secret way to kill them quickly, these are the 20 hardest bosses that you can cheese. Before we continue, we publish content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified of our latest videos. Gandoha 2 Worlds. 2 Worlds is basically Oblivion, but if you ordered it off Wish. Hyped as the next big RPG, it instead vanished into obscurity faster than a good Fusro Da. But it does have a fantastic cheese method to not only beat the last boss, but beat him instantly, wrapping up the story within about 2 minutes. Skip the tutorial, stroll across the fields, poke the final boss, and lure him back to town. You would never be able to kill him yourself, but he'll attack you instantly with his fireball, annoying the invincible NPC villagers, who then proceed to gang up and beat him to death with their hands and tools. It's slow, it's silly, but hey, easy way to see the credits. Simon Claire Obscure Expedition 33. The male solo nuke build is the cheesy speedrunner's weapon of choice for obliterating Simon in record time. The strategy revolves around stacking males, crit damage, attack speed, and raw damage per second to absurd levels, then dumping everything into a burst window before Simon can even process what's happening. With the right gear, buffs, and timing, Male essentially becomes a one-woman artillery strike, deleting Simon's health bar faster than he can throw out mechanics. It's not elegant, and it's a glass cannon approach that sacrifices survivability for raw power, but when executed right, Simon goes down so fast it feels unfair. It was eventually patched out, and probably for good reason. Quiet Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Kojima's Metal Gear Solid 5 may not have the flashiest boss fights in the series. There's no Psycho Mantis, well, there actually is, and there's no Colonel Volgin. Well, I guess there probably actually is too. But there's definitely no Liquid Snake. There is? Fuck! Regardless, the bosses throughout aren't going to give you too much trouble, but taking on Quiet is a proper headache. Luckily, Phantom Pain loves giving creative players ways to cheese things. The classic, call in an item drop right on Quiet's head. Stun her, rinse, and repeat. It's less epic duel, but it still counts. Minion Twisted Metal. In Twisted Metal's level rooftop combat, Minion's AI is hilariously clueless, which makes him easy to cheese. By carefully baiting him towards the edge of the rooftop, you can make him overcommit and drive straight off the roof. For real, gravity does the rest. He smashes himself against the ground below while you stay safely on top. What should be a tense boss battle turns into a slapstick show of AI incompetence, and I love it. Big Blag Battletoads. Battletoads is infamously one of the hardest games of all time. Tough levels, tough enemies, and even tougher bosses. But the main boss fight of the 5th level Surf City can be easily beaten. Before approaching him, you get the opportunity to kill one of the tall walker enemies and use their limbs as a weapon. With this weapon, you can get an early hit in on Big Blag, pushing him to the edge of the screen. Then it's simply a game of keep up. Time your hits and he'll never hit the ground. And if he can't sit, he can't hit. Easy done. The Ebony Warrior Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
Never should have come here.
In Skyrim, the Ebony Warrior can be hilariously cheesed by exploiting his AI and the terrain. Instead of engaging in a deadly duel, you can fight him near a cliff or elevated edge. With careful timing or a well-placed shove from a weapon or shout, you can knock him off the ledge. Catch you later, big fella. Enjoy the fall, see you next trip. Wait, no. The Demon of Hatred, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. The Demon of Hatred is basically the king of being cheesed. Thanks to a glitch, you can trap him in just the right spot, then climb a tower that looks like it was built by sadistic architects, pull off a jump that makes parkour pros weep, land on a wall, and watch the AI panic. He'll stroll straight off a cliff like he's on a casual Sunday walk. Boom, instant victory. Bada boom, in fact. My son, Capra Demon Dark Souls. The Capra Demon isn't exactly the final boss of Nightmares, but the tiny arena keeps things tense. Add 2 stun happy dogs and wide swinging attacks and healing feels like an impossibility. Luckily, clever players can exploit the area above the fog gate. Just stand under the bridge near the entrance, line up your shoulders with the fort walls and start tossing 3 throwable combos, knives, dung pies, or firebombs. Sit back, sip tea, and watch the Capra Demon get utterly demolished without even setting foot in the chaos. Lazy? Yeah, but work smart. Gi Natak, Final Fantasy VII. Some folks call this method cheap and nasty, but honestly, it's pure genius. It shows you know your Final Fantasy lore, the undead weaknesses, and that you can think way outside the game's usual semi-turn-based slog. Gi Natak is undead. In Final Fantasy logic, undead hate healing. So just lob an X potion to dish out 500 damage and watch it evaporate. That's literally it. One throw and it's game over. It's like using a band-aid to kill a vampire. The Beast of Grafton, Fallout 76. The Beast of Grafton Hill in Fallout 76 can be hilariously cheesed by taking advantage of its AI limitations. Simply lead it towards a building and step inside. Suddenly the beast can't follow. From the safety of the interior, you can fire through the windows or doorways with explosives, rifles, or energy weapons while it flails helplessly outside. Turrets or companions can chip away at its health while it repeatedly bashes walls like a confused toddler. The fight turns into a laugh and it's a proper hard boss usually. Naval Piranha, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Anyone who's played Yoshi's Island on the SNES knows the bosses all start as regular Mario baddies before Kamek waves a magic wand and turns them into supersized nightmares. Before each fight, Kamek swoops in on his broomstick to mock Yoshi, because apparently magical taunting is part of his job description. Naval Piranha, the second boss of World 3, is no exception. Oh, apart from the legendary cheat that basically turns her into the Mario equivalent of a piñata. Toss an egg from Blue Yoshi before hopping on her platform, Kamek freaks out with a dramatic oh my, and boom, fight over. Naval Piranha, easiest boss ever. Shredder, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Much like Battletoads, the NES Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game is legendary for being ridiculously hard, especially the dreaded dam level where you disarm bobs while dodging unavoidable electrical seaweed. Basically a test of patience, not ninja skills. So naturally you'd expect the final boss, Shredder, to be a brutal showdown, except no, not really. It's a glorified trampoline. Knock him off his ledge, smack him when he tries to hop back up, and rinse and repeat until he croaks. Shredder ends up becoming a puppy who refuses to stay off the furniture. And it's just not that hard to push a puppy off a couch. Not that I'd want to, but I can. Evray Altana, Final Fantasy X. In Final Fantasy X, Evray Altana is tough. The game gives you 2 options: fight it head on, and let's just say good luck since most attacks barely scratch it, or run like a scared swimmer and unlock the nearby gates. Why bother with that nonsense when the easiest method is the third one right there in your inventory? And it's quiz time. We've already seen this method in this video, so what is it? That's right, since Evray Altana is undead, it hates healing items. Toss a couple of Phoenix Downs or X potions and watch him crumble faster than a soggy sea biscuit. Ew, I wish I described that differently. The Thorn Family, Baldur's Gate 3.
What have you done? What have you done to me?
Maybe this isn't technically cheesing, but it's worth mentioning. In Baldur's Gate 3, players can defeat the Thorn family without combat by utilizing dialogue and deception. Each family member has specific weaknesses that can be exploited through conversation. For instance, Garangoth Thorn can be tricked into believing the player is the new toll collector, leading her to hand over her gold before exploding. Similarly, Theobald Thorm can be convinced to leave the tavern, avoiding a confrontation. These non-combat solutions require careful dialogue choices and an understanding of each character's motivations. The roles are tough, but technically doable.
I can't bear it. No, neither. Too strong.
Dark Link, Zelda II, The Adventure of Link. Zelda II: The Adventure of Link is the lesser-known NES side-scrolling sequel to the original Legend of Zelda. After cleaning out 6 palaces and restoring the crystals, Link faces the ultimate showdown in the Great Palace. Dark Link, his evil doppelganger. As we'd come to learn in future games, he's supposed to be tough as hell. Supposed to be. Fortunately for players in 1987, there's a hilarious cheese method. Stand in the left corner of the screen, duck, and watch Dark Link freak out. He just keeps charging like a confused toddler, letting you stab him to death with 0 effort. And just like the puppy, I don't want to stab a toddler to death. I promise. I promise! Godskin Duo, Elden Ring. Make sure you've got sleeping pots, because in Elden Ring, the Godskin Duo can be hilariously cheesed. That's right, simple sleep potions. Instead of trading blows in a brutal high-stakes fight, you can throw sleep pots at one or both bosses to put them into a temporary slumber. While they're snoozing, you're free to land free hits, backstabs, or ranged attacks without fear of retaliation. Repeat the process and the fight becomes a slow-motion beatdown, with the duo alternating between napping and taking damage. Incubus Silent Hill. Silent Hill has an infamous cheese method. So infamous, it has its own name, the Incubus cheese method, and I'm sure you could have guessed that. Incubus is the final boss in Silent Hill, and the method involves expending all of Harry's ammunition from all weapons before entering the fight, which triggers a timed event causing the Incubus to die after a certain duration. For some reason, most likely because the game didn't want to softlock anyone, having no ammo means no boss fight, so stand outside the door and just drop everything. Game over. Roll credits. General Attack Helicopter Just Cause 3.
Where are you, coward?
Just Cause 3 is a playground for chaos, but there's a story somewhere in there, and it culminates in Rico facing Generalissimo Sebastiano di Ravello's bavarium-shielded attack chopper inside a volcano crater. Say that 10 times fast. Now, because it's in this video, I'm sure you all can guess that there's a glorious, obvious cheese method to beating the chopper, the grappling hook. Attach one end to a rock, the other to the chopper, and boom! The AI loses its mind, crashes spectacularly, and you win the final battle without even breaking a sweat. Ramon Salazar, Resident Evil 4. In Resident Evil 4, the remake specifically, you can take out Ramon Salazar in the most ridiculous way possible. A golden egg. Yep, that's right, when he pops up from the floor in Chapter 12, just toss the egg at his face and watch him go down like a fragile omelette, proving that truly, even in the world of survival horror, breakfast really is the most important meal. I hate that joke, and I'm sticking by it. The golden egg drops 70% of his health, so you can either pick him up with some guns or chuck another egg.
Watch your language, my lord. What will others think of you?
The end, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. With the recent remake being so hot, I feel like I've talked about this on about 5 different lists, but it never gets old, unlike the end. The End, the photosynthetic century-old sniper from Metal Gear Solid 3, is arguably the game's most legendary boss. With a ghillie suit that screams, "I dare you to find me," he turns the forest into his own personal hide-and-seek arena, where he picks you off in a tense boss fight. Snake has to flush him out repeatedly, making it a true endurance test, unless you cheat. There are two ways to do this. You can snipe him early at the warehouse, which replaces his fight later on with an Ocelot unit showdown, or my personal favorite, save mid-fight, fast forward your console clock a week, and watch the ancient sniper kick the bucket from old age. Stupid, but very Kojima. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MojoPlays and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of our latest videos.